Hey y'all, and welcome back. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm out here behind the house where I'm keeping my fall starts. I'm going to show you something pretty vulnerable. I've been keeping my fall starts out back behind the house because the greenhouse gets really hot, and these are heat sensitive plants. So last year I tried growing fall starts in my greenhouse and they just kept getting real leggy. Bugs found them and ate them down to nothing. And it really just was a struggle. So I'm kind of at this crossroads right now with my fall plants. I am really trying to move into, I hate to use the word self-sustainable because I'm not relying on self. I rely on Jesus. But for lack of a better term, a self-sustainable lifestyle where our family does not rely so much on the grocery store. We are blessed with a very wonderful local organic farm that I do support as needed, but I really am working hard to grow our own food. That being said, I also am working really hard towards eating seasonally. I believe fruits and vegetables are at their highest peak of nutrition when they are fresh off the vine. When we take that tomato and we put it under high heat in a pressure canner, we do lose some of the nutritional value. Is it still better than what we're buying in the grocery store? 100%, hands down. There's no argument there. And I'm not speaking against canning. I've been canning all summer long. I've been putting up as much tomato sauce and applesauce, pickles as I can. I don't want that to be what I rely on. I really want to rely on a seasonal eating way of life. So that being said, fall garden is right around the corner, and I'm putting a lot into it. And I'm struggling. Oh, my plants are struggling. I think I'm going to have to resort to going in the house with lights. I really don't want to do that. It's a hassle. There's dirt in my dining room. It's not convenient. I don't have a convenient place to put them. I don't have a basement. So it's either in my bedroom or in the dining room is where these plants go. And then I have to go through hardening them off, and that's a process. So my thought was that I could just grow them on the back porch. They would be out in the elements where they would get acclimated to that. It's not as hot outside. We're only staying in the 80s versus the greenhouse is getting up to 110 degrees at times. And I really thought it would be less work. But they're all dying. And it's awful. And I'm having to replant and pray that I'm going to have a crop this fall. And it's absolutely breaking my heart. Like, it's really been a stress. I really was hoping to grow some Brussels sprouts this year. We absolutely love Brussels sprouts. And they're not something we can get local here. They're not something, or buying organic Brussels sprouts just is not an option. So I was really putting a lot of hope in Brussels sprouts this year. And I started these Brussels sprouts at the end of July. They are they take a long time to reach maturity. I was told if I planted them at the end of July, I could get a December harvest, which would be awesome. I've got 1, maybe 2 starts out of 32. that I think are going to make it. Cabbage moths found them, and despite my best organic efforts, I couldn't defeat it. I couldn't get ahead of it, and I couldn't get control of it. They've absolutely destroyed them. They've weakened the plant, and it's extremely unfortunate. I'm trying to not get discouraged and throw my hands up with the whole thing. So here's what I'm talking about. So these 4 I just replanted. I had to get rid of them completely. They were just down to nothing, and I mean, they looked like this one. I just don't think it's going to make it. Now, some of these I do have hope in, because you can see, like, right in there, no, you get it, there's some new leaves growing. This one has some new growth coming up. This one has some new growth trying to make its way out. So I'm hopeful they're going to make it, but just some of these look absolutely terrible. Terrible. And I'm pretty discouraged. This is a broccoli. It's pretty bad. But then some of them are doing all right. Like this one's doing okay. That one looks like it might pull through. These are kohlrabis. They're just not looking good at all. These are cabbages that were looking awesome, but they are just, I just don't know if they're going to pull through. A gardener, and as someone who puts everything on YouTube and encourages others to do this, oh yeah, plant some seeds, it's great, you know, everyone's doing it. There's failures. There's plants that don't look like they're going to pull through. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them ride. I'm going to keep babying them and hope for the best, because if they make it, boy, are they going to be some hardy plants. But I went ahead and planted more cabbages. Our first frost isn't until October 15th. So I've got more growing. I did some bok choy. Let's see, I've got collards and chard, some more cabbages, some broccoli, and some cauliflower on that, in that tray. And they're already getting leggy. I think it's because it's so warm for these. These are just cooler weather crops. They don't do well in the heat. So I'm going to break down, and I'm going to pull out the lamps and the lights, and I'm going to grow them in my bedroom because this is what it's all about. This is important. I did not go into, I actually was going to talk about this in another video, but I'm going to talk about it here. I didn't go into gardening, growing our own food, raising our own animals because I thought the world was coming to an end. That never crossed my mind as to why I went into this. I went in this because I can do better. You can do better. Our food system's broken. Yes, we know that. There's food shortages now. Now I see that, and now I'm thankful that I'm already living this lifestyle. But that's not why I went into this. I've never seen empty shelves on a grocery store in my entire life. If I have, I don't remember it. I must have been a small child. So the thought of not having food on the shelves was not a reason why I went into this. I didn't go into this because of what's going on in the world, although now I'm thankful we are. I went into this because I knew that if I worked hard enough, and if I learned, and if I kept trying, I could grow food that was nutritionally better than what was offered in the grocery store. I could look at that tomato and know that that was a better than organically grown tomato, because just because something says organic does not mean that it wasn't sprayed with something or that it wasn't treated with something. It's just very minimal. So I knew that whatever I grew was going to be better and done better and picked at its peak. So it was going to be nutritionally better than what I could find in the grocery store and what I could find in my local area. Where we lived before, there were no organic farms. There were hardly any farms that produced local food for the public to buy. It was mostly brought in from other parts of the state or other parts of the country. There were no true produce stands. There were stands that sold produce that had a sticker on it that said that it came from Mexico. That was just the reality of where I lived. So in my mind, if I wanted a higher standard, I had to do it myself. And I figured, what do I have to lose? If I'm successful, then I'll have known that I've done it better. So far, I've done things better, and so far, I've failed miserably. I don't think these false starts are over. I'm going to keep nursing them. I'm going to keep fertilizing them. I'm going to keep checking for bugs and making sure that they're gonna thrive, hopefully, out there in the field. I've got row covers to protect them. I've got things in place that hopefully these guys will make it. I'm going to set up a shelf with lights in my room because I still know deep down inside that I can do better and that we deserve better, and that's my driving force behind the garden. It wasn't out of fear. It wasn't out of lack. It was out of, I want better for myself and I want better for my family. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to reseed some more trays. And if these guys bounce back and give us an abundance this year, then I'm thankful. I'm going to have that much more to give to those around me, because those around me deserve better. And with that kind of mindset, I don't feel like we can go wrong. So there's my vulnerable seed trays for today. And be encouraged that even if you're just growing a pot on your porch with a tomato in it, that tomato is better. You've done better. Even if it was just one small step, you've done better. Even if you only got one round of tomato sauce in the pantry, you still did better. Even if these plants die, I still did better because I gave it my all, and I'm going to try again. I'm going to be better. I'm going to learn why this didn't work. I'm going to learn that I'm just going to have to do it the hard way and the way I don't want to do, but I know that that way works. And I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep better, and I'm going to keep encouraging you all to do better. So don't look, if you're like me, don't look at your withered away seed starts, half eaten by bugs, as a failure. Look at it as a way that now I can do better because I'm experienced and I know now what to do. So go be better, go have a great day, and may the Lord bless and keep you until next time.